everybody. How are you feeling today? Welcome to the live stream for this Sunday, May 9th. It's Mother's Day, so happy Mother's Day to everybody. Wishing lots of love to all the mothers, all the grandmothers, to our Mother Earth. So grateful for Mom, and so grateful for all the gifts that moms bring us. So let's have a big C major chord for all the moms out there. How you doing? Let me know you can hear me. Let me know you can see me. Hope you are doing well. Welcome to another Sunday live stream session. Today it's going to be more 3-chord magic. We're going to be focusing on these 3 chords. I'm going to outline some stuff. I like to make my lessons, all of my lessons, especially these live streams, accessible to all levels, and at the same time offer some special sauce you can put on top. We're going to be talking about some special strum sauce and some special single note sauce to add to your playing. We'll be focusing on a couple of different tunes, mostly Jamaica Farewell, which is a great jam tune, very, very popular jam tune in the ukulele world. So, Randall is here from Hawaii. Welcome. For those of you joining live, please say hello in the chat. If you're watching this as a replay, there's going to be timestamps down below. You can flip through the different sections of the video. But stick around. I got a really fun lesson for you. And when we're all finished, I will be leading a mindfulness meditation, something to relax our minds, our bodies, and something that will be stress relieving and really rejuvenative for ourselves. Deep listening and breathing, one of my favorite things to do. Let me know how you doing. Let's say hi to a few folks in the chat, and we're going to jump into our lesson. Thank you so much. If you're here on a regular basis, I'm so glad that you're here. I see some regular folks here. Akash Prabhu, thanks for being here. Creepy, that zombie guy. Who's he? That's my friend Al in Buffalo, who does a lot of zombie and other acting work for charity. Thank you, Al, for joining in. Tim is here. Ragamuffin Ukes, Charlie, glad you're joining us from Oregon. To all our friends in Germany, I say hello. Thank you, Danke Shane, for joining in. Love that we have so many folks from Europe joining us every week and watching my videos. So today's lesson, we got some folks from Japan. Excellent. Excellent. Joe is here from North Carolina. Hello, Patricia from Elk Grove. Some folks from the East Coast too, Maryland. So glad you're here. Thank you so much. Do me a huge favor and give this video a thumbs up and share one of my videos, this one or another one, with your friends, your ukulele playing friends. Sure helps my channel out. And I just want to make one quick announcement before we begin the 3-chord session, is that I'm going to be offering a workshop next week. I won't be here live because I'm going to be offering a workshop that actually has a lot to do with 3 chords. And don't let the name jazz fool you. This ukulele jazz session, there are links to information in the description below. Patrons get a discount on ticket. Don't let that 4-letter word jazz scare you. This is going to be a very accessible jam session on a 3-chord tune by the legendary Django Reinhardt. Django Reinhardt's music is so soulful. It's very danceable. It's sometimes called Parisian swing. Django spent most of his life in the Paris area, and I spent about 10 years playing his music on lead guitar, and I'm going to share all kinds of tricks, swing rhythms, turnarounds. We're going to study this tune deeply. You're going to get jam tracks, bonus content. It's going to be a lot of fun, and everything you learn, you'll be able to apply to any other jazz or swing tune. And we will learn a lot about improvisation. I've tabbed out some really easy solo licks that I think you're going to find it's easier than you might think to improvise over Minor Swing by Django Reinhardt. So if you're interested, next Sunday I won't be here. Join me for a really fun time. So that's a little bit of minor swing for you. We're going to be doing that next week. Check the links down below if you want to join me. Thank you for joining me right now. Let's say hi to a few more folks in the chat. Let me know if you're coming to the workshop. I know many of you folks are coming, so thank you. I have a great program lined up for you. Check the links down below. Ragamuffin Ukes is in the house. She's coming. Rudolph, saluting right back to you. Maddie is here from Paris. Thank you. Yeah, boy, the stories of Django and all the things that he did, he was quite a free spirit. I think there ought to be a major Hollywood movie made about Django's life. Maybe Johnny Depp can play him, because his life was extraordinary. What Django Reinhardt did in his 43 years of life. Pretty amazing. Changed jazz music forever, really. So you'll see it doesn't hurt at all. But stay tuned, everybody, because if you liked my summertime video that I put out last week, there's going to be a video coming out in a few more days. That'll be part 2. I'll teach you about how easy it is to solo once you know the melody. Quite easy to get into making some variations. But anyway, happy Mother's Day. Happy springtime wherever you are. You can probably see from my nose I've been spending a lot of time outdoors in the garden, planting trees, planting vegetables. Let's plant some music. Let's get into this. Here's what I want to do this week is just, let's just jam out, and there won't be any song sheet for this. So just follow along with me. I got my looping pedal here. I'm going to be laying down some chord backing for you. And I'm going to teach you a couple of things to go with these 3 chords. Let's warm them up right now, everyone. Take your hand and let's just warm up our G major chord. G. That's this one right here. G. Whenever we're warming up our chords, always a great idea just to first touch the neck, make it very loose. Remind yourself of just what does it feel like to be really fully with your sound. Listen to it. Feel the vibrations through your instrument. Feel it tickling your belly. Where do you feel that? Nice. Next, we go to our C major chord. Start to experiment with different sounds. You know, you make a richer bassy sound over here, a little more trebly over here. Thank you, Barbara. Appreciate you signing up. And then we get our D7 chord. A couple of ways to play this. You can use your 2 fingers, 1 and 2, and that is a great way to play it. But you could also bar the chord. And then we would go directly back to G major, right? Now, before we get into any of the strum spices, and I know you may not know the words by heart, but by the time you hear this chorus a few times, you probably can join in. And this is the rhythm we're going to be playing. We're going to be decorating this with some strum spice in a moment, but we go like this. Down, down, up. That's that strum, down, down, up, down, down. And the chord progression we're playing is this right here. C, D7, back to G. Come on, let's get it. Here we go. G, C, D7, G. To warm up and make music at the same time. So right now, let's multitask a little bit. You're strumming. Get some part of your body feeling the groove. Maybe it's your head. Maybe it's your feet. Start to swing side to side like you're on a boat. Warm up your voice by first breathing deeply. Letting out a sigh. G, C. All right, let's warm up our voices. Next time we breathe in. Just sing a couple of notes. Make them feel relaxed. and we're gonna start the tune. One more time with me. La 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 la. La 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 la. First verse, join in. Down the way where the nights are gay, the sun shines on the mountain top. I took a trip on a sailing ship. When I reached Jamaica, I made a stop. Chorus. I'm sad to say I'm on my way. Won't be back for many a day. My heart is down, my head is turning around. I had to leave a little girl in Kingston town. Sounds of laughter everywhere. The dancing girls, they sway to and fro. I must declare my heart is there. I've been from Maine to Mexico. Chorus. I'm sad to say I'm on my way. Won't be back for many a day. My heart is down, my head is turning around. Had to leave a little girl in Kingston town. Down at the market you can hear the ladies cry out while on heads they bear. Ackee rice, salt fish are nice. The rum is fine any time of year. Sing along. Sad to say I'm on my way. Won't be back for many a day. My heart is down, head is turning around. I had to leave a little girl in Kingston town. One more. Sad to say I'm on my way. Won't be back for many a day. Slow down, heart is down, my head is turning around. I had to leave a little girl in Kingston town. G major here. Thanks for jamming along. Long distance jam. There's a lot of sweet folks in the house. Thank you for joining me. And David, thank you for letting me know this word up here. Let's work with that strum, and I'm going to teach you 2 or 3 very cool things that you can add to it. That is F-L-I-C-K, the flick technique. But let me teach you something first, and for this I'm going to put on my high G ukulele. If you're enjoying this, please give it a thumbs up. There are links in the video description down below if you want to support. Join as a patron of Ukulele Zen. Patrons, thank you so much. Your patronage helps me to keep things rolling here, and truly appreciate your support and your enthusiasm for music. Thank you everybody for joining me. I'd like to zoom in on my hand and show you it's a simple thing. Once you get the hang of it, it's a wonderful way to make your strum richer. And when I mean richer, I mean it adds some diversity to the kind of sounds you can make. So this strum is, you can see my hand up close. I'm moving down, down, up, down, up. I'd like to lead you through a little exercise here, so watch me do it first, and then I'll count you in, okay? You go down, and then instead of down, up, try just grazing the thumb on the bottom strings. Just a little thumb stroke. And it's not a lot of force. It's just like you're just rubbing something. That's really all you're doing. So not too much force. You go down, then thumb. See that? Down and thumb. Your thumb can pluck one string or just a couple of them. And what that does is it thins thins out the strum right on beat 2. And this is going to be a nice thing to do. So let me demonstrate just on the G chord. I go down, thumb, up, down, up. When you do this for a little while, you're going to hear a difference. 1, 2, try it with me. Down, thumb, up, down, down, thumb, up, down, down, thumb, up, down, down, thumb, up, down, down, thumb, up. One more time. Ready? One more. And that is a way of thinning out the strum right here on beat 2. So it's down, thumb, up, down, up. When this starts moving through all of the chords, you have a little room to grow in your strum. It makes it a little thinner, and then later on in the song, you could strum all the strings again right here, just all of them. You have room to grow because you started smaller. All right, so this is a nice way to immediately bring some more musicality to your playing. Jam along with me right now. We're going to play G, C, D7, G, and we'll just keep this going. Let's do it a few times with the thumb, and then let's just go back to the regular strum, and you'll hear that along with playing a little softer when you play the thumb and a little harder when you play the full finger, you're going to have much more range in your dynamics. Okay, let's try it. 1, 2, 1, 2, here we go. Down, thumb, up, down, down, thumb, up. Oops, let me change the chords. Here we go. G, here comes C, D7, G, let's do it again, G, one more time around thumb. All right, full strum now. Hear the difference? It's more tender. So nice, everybody. So that is a simple thing, but it's often the simple things that we add to our strumming that can add a lot of musicality. I want to teach you another Strum Spice right now. While it's going well, let me know if you have any questions about anything in the chat. Thank you so much for joining me. Truly appreciate you being here. There's a link down below. If you want to join my mailing list, keep in the loop of what I do. You get a free track when you sign up. It's a recording of mine, of a famous George Formby song. And if you feel like joining our community on Patreon, there are all kinds of goodies waiting for you there. There are also some links down below if you wish to offer a supporting donation. Surely, of course, appreciated. And I really am grateful for you all being here. And before we move on to the next Strum Spice, just want a reminder for those just joining that next week we won't be here. I want to make sure that's clear. I won't be here for this, but the following week I will be back. Next week I'll be offering this workshop about Django Reinhardt's Gypsy Jazz, great 3-chord tune. We're going to learn how to improvise, learn the introduction, the outro, the chords, rhythm, swing. It's going to be an awesome time. You're going to get a whole bunch of bonus goodies like jam tracks and bonus lessons and a concert. I'm learning some new tunes for you too. So let's get back into the lesson. Check the link down below if you want to join. The thing I want to share with you is this right here, flick. The flick is sometimes called the fan stroke. And some of us already know how to do it. All right, it's really, It's like when you were a kid in school, you're a little bored doing this on the desk, you know? You're brushing the fingers very lightly across the surface of the strings. And you know, if you're comfortable to do so, this is a great way to start practicing it. You just take the back of your instrument, or even a piece of paper. Something other than the strings at first is a great way to start. You could use your shirt. And the idea is that if my hand was a string, you don't want the finger to get stuck on the string. It should just brush. So what you do is you open up the pinky, then you open up the middle, the ring finger, then you open up the middle finger, and then you end on the index. And the index is this downstroke right here. Okay, so the flick comes a little before the beat. Down, flick. Let's try this together. We'll do it 5 times to make sure we practice it and to model what good practice is. Just do 5 things with a little bit of space in between each attempt. Are you ready? Let's do it. Index, flick. Number 2. Index, flick. Ready? Index, flick. That's 3 times. Let's do it 2 more times. Ready? Index, flick. Last time. Index, flick. And again, just to be totally clear, my fingers, they are just barely brushing. It's very, very light. And they end on the index finger, all of them out. Isn't that pretty? You like that? This is a ukulele by the Flight Company. For those of you who enjoyed my video about the Griffin ukulele, right here, I'm going to be making other videos where I give tours of some of my favorite ukuleles to play. I think that's a pretty little rosette window there. When we put the flick into the strum, what we're doing is thank you, everybody. Yeah, dot the I. Thank you, Al. All right, here we go. There we go, the flick. Down, flick. Down, flick, up. Try with me. Down, flick. Down, flick, up. Your fingers will get more independent. It takes some time. Down, flick. Down, flick, up. Hey, Mark, glad you're here. Down, flick. Down, flick, up. Great, Hugh. Grant, thank you very much, Grant Hughes. That's a great comment. Yeah, Saul, we could do that, but I'm gonna get kicked off YouTube. Your comment didn't come through. They're listening. Now, let's just get right into it. You go down, flick, up, down, up. That's it. Down, flick, up, down, up. 1, 2, with me now. Down, flick, up, down, up. 1, 2, 3, go. Down, flick, up, down, up. 1, 2, come on now. Down, flick, one more time. Yeah, thank you, Trey. I'm glad that you're getting the flick. So I made a whole video about this on my YouTube channel. It's an old video, and you can watch it. It's a thorough explanation of how this relates to flamenco. So just go to the channel page and click the videos tab and look for the flick. You can search the flick. Not everybody out there in YouTube land is as savvy, so I like to, just let people know that you can always go to the channel page. Click the little icon below any video, takes you to the channel page, and you can search out any video. Let's try this, and then we're going to move into something new. Okay, those are the 2 strum spices I want to share with you. This down, down, thumb up, down, thumb up, down, and down, flick, up, down, flick, up, down, And yes, Peter, there is that's a good comment. Ladies do the chick flick. It's perfect for Mother's Day, I think. There is there is another way to do this. That's a very, very flashy technique. I'll show it to you right now. Amanda, I want to let you know that's great. And Aloysius, I hope I'm not mispronouncing your name too badly. Aloysius, could you start with the pointer? Absolutely, you could if you're more comfortable doing that. But the thing is, when you start with the pinky, you end up on the index. And when you end on the index, you can just go on strumming. All right? So the pattern, when you use pinky to index, you end up where you want to be to continue strumming. Thank you, Vincent, for that super chat. Those of you who are offering support, I truly, truly appreciate it. Let me show you one other cool way to do this, and this is kind of like a heavy metal strum, actually. Instead of flick, which is 1, 2, 3, 1, you do this. Down, up, very fast. And I call it heavy metal because it's very flashy. Okay, so it's a very quick down, up, down, up. Down, up, down, up. We've covered this in other videos. Always great to review stuff. That flashy heavy metal strum would be down, up, up. Big accent here, and this is very fast. Depending on the tempo, they may even be 30-second notes. Dig-a-da-da. All right? So, if you wanted to add this to Jamaica Farewell, you would play down the way where the nights are gay. And it's just a quick shake of the wrist. Down, up, and the last one, I really do send it up here on purpose because it makes it feel relaxed. So pretend you're trying to knock your hat off. And apply this to any chord, and you get a very flashy, it sounds like a quick drum fill. So, any questions? Am I being clear? Thank you so much. If you're digging this video, hope you'll give it a thumbs up. There are links down below to my upcoming workshop and blah, blah, blah. Thank you for hanging. We got Peter Gaskin in the house, who himself is a very good luthier. Leave a link in the chat, Peter, so people can check out your work. And Barbara is asking, I'm not sure the back of my nails. Yeah, that is exactly what you do. You use the back of your nails, brushing across the strings for the flick. And then for this quick, flashy down, up, you're going down with the index, then up with the flesh. Okay? So it's the same motion as any other strum. All right? I wanted to share with you something super cool. And what we're going to do is we're going to talk about sixes and how they can be melodic. Well, we're not going to talk about them. We're going to play them. But what they are is they are groups of notes in harmony. And you can plot out the entire fretboard, an entire scale in sixes. And that's great to do. But you don't have to know every note in a key to start using these melodically. So I wanted to show you a couple of simple things that you can use. And I wanted to make it clear that this diagram looks like this, okay? This line down here is your G string, all right? Everybody clear on that? That's your G string. This up here is your A string. And I need to make that clear because I'm about to erase that, G, C, E, A. And there is another pair right here. I'll do this on my high G ukulele, and then we'll do it on the low G because there are extra things you can do with a low G. Let's play these pairs. The first pair is your open third string and your open first string. Pinch them, meaning pluck them at the same time. You could use thumb and index or thumb and middle. The next pair is going to be both at the second fret. It's just like you're playing a G chord, but you're just plucking these two notes. All right. Let's go back and forth between these two just for now, and then we're going to include the other ones, but take a listen to this. All right, so it's 2 and 2, open, open, 2. All right, let me zoom in a little bit. 2, open, 2. When I lift off my fingers to show you, I'm lifting them way out of the way. Right? Just so you can see that these are both open strings. But when you play, just lift them a little bit. Right? Just a little bit. The more you lift them up, the more they have to travel to get back, right? So those two notes will sound great over a G and a D7 chord. Because the first two notes are part of the G chord. Right? Third string, first string, and then the D7 chord, those two notes are in the D7 chord, right? So if we were playing a chord progression, G, D7, you could play and you can see that I'm pinching them, but I'm also creating rhythms. I want to show you a few more, and then I'm going to loop a chord progression. And over this looped chord progression, we're going to play more. Let's move on to the next pair. All right. Now for this pair, I recommend that you take it's the 3rd fret and the 4th fret. I recommend you take the middle finger and move it up like this, and either use the ring and middle finger like this, because that's going to let you go back to here easily, right? But you don't have to do that. You can, of course, just use the index finger, move that here, and then place the middle finger here. Whatever works for you. I do both, you know? So that is the next pair. And you can see how it makes a diagonal line on the fretboard. Let me know if you got any questions. Give this video a thumbs up if you dig it. Now we're going to move up to the 5th and the 6th fret. So now we have 4 double stops. Right now, if I know ukulele players and guitar players like I do, I've been teaching guitar since 1997. So if I know students like I think I do, you're probably right now doing a lot of repetitions, right? Like just kind of getting used to it. And that's so cool to do. Now, let's try something a little different. Let's listen closely, because we want to listen to the sound very closely to really use it well. So let's play open and open and really listen. Follow that with a D7 chord. All right, hear the D7 chord inside of those two notes. Okay, next pair, 2 and 2. And now. All we're doing, and I'm not trying to control you too much, I'm just offering this, that the slower you go, the more you're going to understand it, the more you're going to retain it. So take some time, you know. Your practice becomes less hurried, becomes more relaxed. Breathe. Listen. Nice. The next pair at frets 3 and 4, you can use the index and the second finger, or the second finger and the ring finger. That fits inside of a C chord. So I'm going to play my C chord with the index finger at the 3rd fret and then drop this here and play. That note at the 4th fret is an E. It's the same as the open 2nd string. So really listen. Cool. Let's go up 2 more frets. Watch, I'm going to move up 2 frets, pluck that. Those 2 notes fit inside of the D major chord or the D7 chord. And there's a form of D7 that fits right here. So listen to those 2 notes and you can compare it to your open D7. Or the barred D7. Okay. So take a listen to me for once. I'm going to lay down a little chord progression for you for a sec. Give me let me know in the chat if you can hear the loop okay. I want you to be able to hear the loop. All right, so you can hear the loop and the ukulele about the same, I hope. Let's play these 2 and then these 2. And you start to make melodies either by plucking them at the same time or breaking them up. Nice. Thanks, Al. Here we go. Just explore. Yeah, let's do some more. Keep exploring. How you feeling out there? You feeling good? Now, I want to teach you the vocabulary, the specific thing I was playing there, because it's through learning specific vocabulary that we grow as musicians, you know? Like learning the guitar solo to Stairway to Heaven makes you a great guitar soloist in the key of A minor. And heck, if you can do what Jimmy Page did, then, you know, you're on your way. So little bits of vocabulary. Yes, there are so many infinite possibilities, but we want to learn just a little bit at a time. Drop by drop, our buckets gets filled. So what I was doing was I was playing the first pair, and that's over the G major chord. Then I played the second pair. Remember, it's 4 and 3. And you can make that a little tastier by sliding into the bottom note. It's a very country sound, right? It sounds like Hawaii or country. Django Reinhardt used these all the time. Tons of guitarists use this all the time. Mozart and Haydn used these all the time. All right, and then for the last chord of the progression, when you get to the D7 chord, you can play that same game of sliding in. Then you can go back down. And then right here. So you have a very cool piece of vocabulary here. And, you can take this and make it your own in lots of different ways. Try it with me. 1, 2, 3, 4. Ready? And up. And then back down. So you're implying with your single notes, you're implying a chord progression that goes G, C, D7, C, G. All right? When I learned this blew my mind. And I'm not joking, I stayed up for probably 3 days straight. I might have slept a little bit, but I was just writing diagrams on the guitar neck, writing out all the different places that these sixes and thirds and different harmony notes lay, But you don't have to lose sleep. I would rather you just get a little bit at a time. Now you change the rhythm a little bit. And one thing that really makes these kind of lines, and I'll show you a few more, one thing that makes these lines really sing is to slide. And that means we have to pay attention to our left hand. Yeah. Thank you, Charlie. I appreciate your kind comment. So slide, arrive. Is my hand soft? Yeah. Don't be in a hurry, Listen how cool that sounds. You add a little vibrato. I've shown these harmony notes in other videos like Down in the Valley. You can look up on my channel, Down in the Valley, easy 3-chord tune, and other videos as well like Van Morrison's Brown Eyed Girl. But thirds and sixes are so cool, right? Because you're playing melody and harmony at the same time. And don't forget about those open, all right? So now you have some really cool things to work with. Let's jam a little bit. Thank you, Spurgeon, for your super chat. Big thanks to everybody joining in. Here we go. C, D, back to G. And you just make different variations. Change the rhythm a little bit. How you doing, folks? So this is a looper that I like to use. I'm going to stop and take some questions and let you know a couple things. I'm going to make a review of this looper. Isn't this thing cute? Look how small it is. This is the smallest looper. You can record 30 minutes on this. 3 different 30-minute loops. See, there's 3 loops. It's made by Donner. I'm going to make a whole review of this soon. So looping pedals are not just fun for creativity, but they're powerful practice tools. You can make chord progressions and just boom, you got your own band, and it's a very, very cool thing to do. So I will answer that question, Bernard. Let's get to the chat. Thank you all. Quick reminder for those of you who are just joining that I'm offering a workshop. If you enjoy what you're seeing, All kinds of bonus stuff coming to you as we learn an easy 3-chord jazz tune. We're going to learn about improvisation. If you've attended my other workshops, you know that it includes a concert, a lot of bonus content, and jam tracks. So there are links down below if you want to join me. Check out the link, read about the workshop, and hope you can join me. We're going to have a meditation starting in about 15 minutes, so I want to teach you a few more things. And we'll also learn another couple of these double stops. So the fingering, Bernard, is I was using 2 and 1. And then you can do a couple of things. You can keep that middle finger on the first string, slide it up, and the ring finger's there. Or you can put the first finger here at the 3rd fret, and then it's the middle finger on the 3rd string. I'm also filling in the spaces like this, right? Approaching each one of these from below. And those have other harmonic implications. It implies a diminished passing chord, but we don't have to get all super theoretical about it. I just want to give you a streamlined bit of vocabulary. Remember that when you're practicing these, keep your hands very light. Be soft like water. Water wears down the rock, right? The Grand Canyon, any canyon made by water. Water, the softest thing, overcomes the rock. Make your hands soft, and you will break through whatever is difficult. In order to make your hands soft, it may be humbling at first how often you want to take your hand off the instrument, soften it up, relax it. That's why I always like to have a cup of tea or something with me, because it forces me to take my hand off, right? So have a cup of tea, a coffee, a beer, some water, whatever you like. Take your hand off your instrument. That was advice given to me by my classical guitar teachers. They suggested that I have a glass of wine when I practice. Not too much. All right, so hopefully that answers that question. Yeah, I'm going to get more into the looping. Grant, I have a couple of loopers. One that's pretty old school, but I love it. And in the concert during my session, I'm going to do some far out stuff with my looper, stuff I haven't done in a long time. I've been playing with some cool looping, so look forward to it. Kombucha works, absolutely, Linda. I love the bucha. Let me know if you know how to make it. So how about we get into one more thing here. I appreciate you joining. If you haven't already, please subscribe to the channel. I put out videos each and every week. Every subscribe, every like, every comment on any video helps a YouTuber out. And if you subscribe, you'll help me get to 100,000 subscribers and make my mom really proud. I'm going to be ringing this bell soon, a beautiful singing bowl. Dagmar is here. Hello. Good to have you with us. Yeah, Linda, I was given a SCOBY. I never learned how to do it. It's like having a pet, I'm told. Once you start making kombucha, it's a pet. All right, I want to teach you some more stuff. Keep in mind, folks, that there are links down below, and please sign the mailing list. And I'm just so grateful that you join me every week. Really appreciate you being with me. Hope these lessons are useful for you. Getting a lot of value out of them. You can watch any of them anytime. So go to the channel page and, just click on the videos tab, and you'll find there's a library of all my videos there, including the live streams. Now, these double stops all stand for a chord. They actually can stand for more than one chord, but let's not get into too much theory because it can start to make your head hurt. I'm going to teach you these two. All right, so this is at the 7th fret, and this is at the 9th fret. And then there's going to be one other one, and I'll do this in blue because it's really special. All right. So let's work our way back up. Okay, let's start with 202. Ready? 202. 2. Now let's go up to 4 and 3, and then slide that up. Okay. Next, the middle finger is going to move to the 7th fret, 3rd string, and the ring finger. Right there. That is another C major chord. It can also be other chords, but let's just call it it's another C major chord. Alright. Then you move it up 2 more frets to 9 and 9. That's another D7 chord. And then the last one, put your pinky on the 10th fret and the index finger at the 7th fret, and these 6s are not they're not separated by a string. Okay, and that's the top of a G major chord. All right, so all of these double stops, they live inside chords, they line up with the scale. If you study one key very thoroughly, you'll be happy to know that it takes some time, of course, but every other major key, every other minor key, they all behave the same way. All right? So let's go up every one. Are you ready for the challenge? Let's do a few curls. We're going to start 202, then we'll do these 2 diagonals, then we'll do these 2 straights, and then we'll do this funky one. Okay? 1, 2, nice and slow, just listen. Here we go. That was pretty fast. I know it might seem like I'm going slow, but this video will be available for you to watch as long as YouTube exists. As long as YouTube doesn't go out of business, it should still be here. Okay, so watch this. Jot this down. This is the key of G. Okay. I appreciate you hanging. I know this is a little different than a ukulele jam where we're just flipping the page, flipping the songbook to one tune after another. As you know, if you've hung with me before, I like to keep things accessible, but also give you some things to grow into it, all right? So you can develop your skills even further. So these 2 represent a G chord and an E minor 7 chord. Blah, 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 blah. These 2 represent a C. These 2 represent a D. And then G. So when we have the chord progression going on, let's just work with these 3 right here at first, okay? All right. And you just use rhythms. Bottom note to the top note to the bottom note, slide into any one you want. Just use your ear. Fun. Next, we have, this was G, C, D. Look, G, C, D. And we did this earlier. G, C, D. Now, we can continue. We got C, D, G, right? So now you can start all the way up the top. I see some people, you're still hanging, so appreciate you sticking around. And now the next chord was C. So let's go to 7 and 7. And now the next chord was D, right? D7. So we go to 8, 9, and 9. And then you get to G, which you can reinforce with an open G string. All right, let's try playing this. G, C, D, G. I'll talk you through it real slow. All Ready? 7 and 10. 7 and 7. 9 and 9. And then 10 and 10. Eventually you know the whole position, you can just have fun with it. Now, you don't have to be stuck on, don't think that you can only play ones, pairs that line up with a chord. They imply chords, but you've also just used them melodically. So don't only think that, oh, I can only play this when I'm on a G chord. I can only play this when I'm on a C chord. You use them like melody. And if you listen close enough, you can hear voices. I don't mean cuckoo, cuckoo. I mean, you can hear that you are, it's like you have a choir in your lap. It's so cool. You have a voice and a voice. And they are singing. Yeah. See if you can bring out the lower voice, all right? Because if you can hear the lower voice, then you know your harmony will be rich. So this lesson is much more than just playing 3 chords. I hope you find this useful. Write these down. And when you go to improvise, know that, this right up here, this whole pattern begins anew, right? This is like a whole nother bit of stuff that you can use. And someday we'll have a session where we'll plot out, an entire key very thoroughly. But I digress. Let us just jam. Come on. Let's have some fun with this. Strum the chords or start to use your melody ideas, okay? Use rhythm. Thank you very much. If you feel like supporting this broadcast, there are links down below. You can drop a super chat. So appreciate you being here. Let's jam. 1, 2, 3, go. Keep going. Let's strum along, come on. Sad to say, I'm on my way. Won't be back for many a day. My heart is down, my head is turning around. Leave my little girl in Kingston town. Jay, if you don't have fingernails, you can use a pick. In fact, in the video description below, there's a link, and you can enter the contest to win tree picks. Next time we meet, we're going to be giving away a lot of them because I'm overdue. So add your email to the link down below, Tree Picks giveaway. Let's play just a little longer. use these sixes to start melodizing. So these two are a G, these two are a C. I'm sad to say I'm on my way. Won't be back for 2 weeks. Next week I'm teaching a special class. Join me if you'd like to. There's links below. If you're having fun, wait till we get together next week. There's going to be a ton of good stuff I'm going to share with you. Check the links down below. I'd like to begin a meditation soon. So, thank you very much. Let me know in the chat how you're feeling. These double stops are a wonderful way of creating melodies, harmonies. It's like you have a choir right in your lap. I love playing solos using sixes and thirds. They're a beautiful, beautiful sound. And they are meditative. You can listen to your open G string and use that as a drone. Begin to experiment with, and you start to make your own relationships between, I like to slide into this one when I want to go home to G, and you start to develop your own vocabulary from the ones that I shared with you. So watch this live stream again. It's a bunch of information. I don't think it's too much to digest in one go. Hang out with it a few times, and you'll see this. You'll become a master of the key of G soon. So thanks, everybody. I'd like to take a sip of water and then invite you to, if you'd like to stay for some mindfulness meditation. I'm going to share a simple practice using the bell, deep listening, cultivating deep listening, non-judgmental listening of what is present. When we practice, I should say, because it's an ongoing practice, just like this is an ongoing practice. The ongoing practice of meditation, of mindful living, is something that we can apply to any activity. So learning to breathe mindfully, using the power of our attention, our consciousness, and our attention, every activity can become very, very pleasing, so much more peaceful. You may find later today you're washing the dishes with awareness of your breath, or cleaning your car with awareness of breath, or doing your work and pausing to take a breath and coming home to the present moment is a fabulous way of being more aware of what is present. We often go somewhere else with our mind. It's very natural. The practice is to come home. So let's practice together. Thank you, Maddie. Appreciate that. Very sweet folks in the chat. We're going to begin a simple, profound meditation. Brian, yes, learning your scales and 2 strings, and then eventually 3, you'll be able to improvise around these forms with ever more proficiency and more possibilities for you. Thank you, Linda. Thank you, Maddie, for those super chats. I truly appreciate everybody's support and you being here. Let us begin. A little bit of deep listening. Meditation is not something that we do right or wrong. It's a practice. And what I'd like to share with you, blessings to you too, Linda. Thank you. And what I would like to share with you is just, a model of a practice. Feel free to modify this in your own in your own way when you practice on your own. Let's begin first by listening deeply to this bell. It'd be nice if you could maybe take your instrument off of yourself, put it on a stand, sit forward in your chair with your feet on the floor, or you could sit upright on a cushion if you have a pillow to sit on with your back straight. You could also lay down. And the other posture for meditation is walking, slowly walking. But what we're going to do is just listen. And as we listen, the practice is to keep your attention on the sound of the bell and your breathing. And just keep listening. All right? Let us begin. I'll guide you through another exercise after we come together. For these next bells, see if you can keep your attention on the bell until it decays into silence. And if there are other sounds in your room, listen to those as well. Listen the way the earth accepts all the rain. It accepts everything. Listen, listening, listening. And if you haven't done so already, I invite you to close your eyes and rest your hands in your lap. Or if you're laying down, you may like to rest them across your belly. And feel the rise and fall. Bring all of your attention to the rising and falling of the breath. Breathing in deeply. Exhaling slowly. So take a deep breath into the belly. Fill your lungs with air all the way up your lungs, all the way to your collarbone. And then exhale slowly. And see if you can empty yourself of air. Fully empty. So let's continue just a few more minutes of deep, slow breathing. For just these minutes, set aside any plans, any projects, any concerns, any worries, And just breathe in your quiet center, nourishing yourself with your presence and your breathing. If you're able to, breathe in through the nose, in and out through the nose, creating the smooth and silent breath. If you're able to, breathe any way you can, but see if you can refine it into a slow, smooth, and deep silent breath. Relax into your breathing. With each in and out breath, allow your scalp to relax. Allow the muscles on your face to soften. Allow your shoulders to soften. Allow your jaw to relax. Stay here. Be with your breath fully. Begin to relax your belly. And now, instead of manipulating the breath to be a deep one, exhaling fully, just allow your breath to come naturally. And just observe your breathing. Be very curious. Where is my breath? Where do you feel it? You may feel the inhalation at your nose, maybe the back of your throat, or in the rise and fall of your belly. Just remain here, bringing the mind to rest, concentrating on your breathing. And if any thoughts or body sensations distract you from your breathing, please know that that is natural and totally okay. The practice is to return to your breathing without any judgment. Return with a loving awareness. The moment we know we have left our breathing, we're back. So let's just continue for another couple of minutes, following our breathing, softening. nourishing yourself with your presence, with the miracle of your concentration and your breathing. Continue to bring your mind to rest on the pillow of your breathing. Relax the muscles in your face and your body. Breathe in a way where you release tension. And listen. When you're ready, you can begin to wiggle the tips of your fingers, your toes, rub your hands together, Slowly open your eyes. Thank you for joining me in some practice. And I was playing one note at a time, the way I would play a singing bowl, listening to it with loving kindness. When you practice these and begin to improvise with them, you may like to do this in a very slow way, saying yes to everything that comes out. And your mantra is yes, yes, yes. The body will soften. You'll become more proficient at playing these with a cleaner and cleaner sound. But I've found through a lifetime of practice that it is through a loving attention that things improve. And even if they don't improve, we're at peace either way. So I wish you a wonderful, peaceful week of playing and being with your loved ones. Happy Mother's Day. You can watch this lesson again, practice the different strums, learn these little solo nuances. Appreciate you being here. And I look forward to seeing you in 2 weeks. Like I've said a few times, I won't be here next week. I'll be offering that class. There's links to it down below if you want to join me. And appreciate you joining me for some music making. The class next week will include a concert where I will just full bore play a concert set for you, and I'm really looking forward to that. So thank you so much. Before we sign off, let's say adios. We'll say ciao. Say spasibo. Merci beaucoup. Muchísimas gracias. Dankeschön. Dankjewel. Cheers. Thank you. Thank you all for joining me. And may the practice of bringing our minds and our bodies together through the bridge of the breath, may that bear many, many peaceful fruits for you this week in your music, in your life. And wish you all the best. Good health, happiness to you. Namaste, Akash. Mahalo, Rick. Thank you. Thank you, Barbara. Thank you, Dagmar. Thank you, Al. Thank you. Well, folks, I will see you next week. And to all the subscribers, many thanks. Those of you just hopping on the channel, maybe you found me just by accident. YouTube suggested me to you. Welcome. Check out all the other videos on my channel. Wish you a peaceful day. Happy Mother's Day. Take good care. Much love to you and your families. Thanks.